Okay, enough dilly-dallying. Let's get to these taste tests. I'm sorry they're so late. This pregnancy is just all over the place compared to my first one. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna taste Istanbul, Paris, and I think Rio de Janeiro. I think those were the 3 for original line that I haven't tasted. So let's get started. Okay, so I have the 3 right here. I don't think these are limited edition. They're hopefully a permanent line. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't say on their box that they are. Which one should we try first? Let's try Rio de Janeiro first. So this is what the box looks like. It has some palm leaves here. Rio de Janeiro, World Explorations. It's a level intensity 9. You can use it as ristretto or espresso. If you have the Cretista Plus, that machine has a ristretto feature that you can just switch over and do a ristretto. It's just like an even more concentrated form of espresso, so you're gonna get less liquid but more concentrated. If you have like the Essenza Mini, you're gonna have to program your coffee machine to do that. The only thing that sucks is that you're set with that one going forward, so you're gonna have to reset it back to espresso if you don't like that ristretto every day. That's the only thing. Thought I'd mention that. So before I open the box, let's see what the website says as far as Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro is a herbal and sandalwood type of coffee. It's a 1.36 ounce. So if you want like a double shot latte, you're obviously gonna have to use 2 capsules. I mean, you could use 1, but the second one always feels like it's a little watered down. So I always recommend 2. $8 for 1 sleeve, so it's like 80 cents a capsule. It's an exotic and velvety Brazilian Arabica blend, partly dark roasted to enhance the body and bitterness needed for the cafecino character. Pleasantly bitter and velvety textured cup with unexpected walnut, sandalwood, and herbal notes, reminiscent of thyme, how do you pronounce that? And rosemary. Nutty and balanced. I'm trying to figure out what they came out with. Yeah, they had Cafecino de Brazil. I think that's what the capsule was called, and that one was limited edition. So maybe this one's similar to that one. I remember liking that one, the Cafecino one, and I think it was also a level 9, and I ended up liking it. I remember it because it was like a nutty kind of coffee. That's all that the website says. So let's pop this open. This one looks like the coconut capsule, except it's green. We're gonna do 1 capsule, and I'm gonna use my Cretista Plus machine because I no longer have the Essenza Mini. Coffee brewed. I should have done a clear cup, but this cup was just screaming my name. Just gonna give it a little sniff. It actually smells a little nutty to me, but I can also smell like that nutty, the herbal, not thyme, however you pronounce it, but like a little herbal. Just gonna give it a little mix. All right, let's try it. That's pretty good. Nice and smooth. They say velvety smooth. You know what I noticed? That every time Nespresso says velvety smooth, I tend to like it. So I was afraid because it was saying something about like delicately bitter or something like that, but it is bitter a little bit, but it's not like one of those that like punches you in the face. I haven't said that in a while. It's bitter, but it's not, it's doable. It's nice and velvety. That's a perfect description of it. Since it's nutty, you can almost pair it with like, if you're gonna do a latte, which is what I like, I would definitely do an oat milk with a hazelnut syrup, or you can do a peanut butter syrup. French hazelnut is one of my favorites from Monin. Today, I think I'm gonna do the Pink House Alchemy hazelnut syrup because that one I really enjoy. And I feel like other than the French hazelnut from Monin, Pink House Alchemy's just regular hazelnut tends to be really, really good. So that's what I'm gonna mix it with. I'm gonna mix it with milk first without any syrup and see what it tastes like. But usually when the espresso tastes good, black, without any milk, I tend to like it with milk even more. So let's do that. Take one of these cups. These cups are from, I think they're West Elm. I have them linked on my Like to Know It. But I'm gonna pour the coffee in here. About a half cup of milk into my Miracle frother. Give it a little shake. I haven't found my favorite, which is their 0 sugar oat milk. So this one's gonna have to do. All right, let's put some milk in here. Give it a little mix. Okay, so this is just the espresso with milk, no syrup. Pretty good. Honestly, sometimes I feel like I don't need syrup on certain days. I still do just because it's a habit. But this is really good without syrup. Ooh, it's so cozy. I love it. You could definitely taste the nuttiness once the milk is added. I feel like the herbaliness of it is gone. And if you're new here, I love Pink House Alchemy. This is it right here. They have small batch syrups and a lot of their ingredients are nice and simple. Like this one is pure cane sugar, filtered water, hazelnut extract, lactic acid. And you have to refrigerate these. I hate that my camera lens is acting up. I feel like it doesn't focus the way it used to. So I have to figure that out. But yeah, that's the syrup I'm gonna add. I'm actually almost done with it. I do have a code. This is not a sponsored video, but there is a code that I have. Alex M15, I think saves you 15% off. They are kind of pricey because they're small batch syrups, but they are so good. A lot of them are really delicious. All right, let's mix this in. So good. This is so good. Very delicious. Yum. Okay. Rio de Janeiro, if you're still wondering if it's good or not, I say go for it if you like nuttiness. Don't let that thyme and herbal stuff scare you, especially if you add milk, because I didn't really taste that. Even when it was without milk, I felt like the nuttiness kind of overpowered everything else, if that makes sense. But it's really good. Really smooth is probably how I would describe it. I'm debating whether I should add ice to it. Let's just add ice. Let's see how it tastes with ice. Gonna add, I don't know why I do this to myself. All right, a little bit of ice. And you know what? I forgot that it was a level intensity 9. Now that I think of it, it's not that bad. It honestly tastes to me like a level 7, 8. Yep, pretty good. Yeah, guys, iced. Still kicking. Really good. Definitely a winner in my book. Okay, I'm gonna try Paris next. This is the box right here. Okay, so for Paris, they only recommend it as espresso. None of that ristretto, no lungo, just espresso. It's an intensity level 6. It's a lightly roasted Latin American Arabicas emboldened by Vietnamese Robusta. Ooh, Vietnamese just reminds me of that Vietnamese coffee with condensed milk. This delicately bitter cup with cereal and citrus notes lives up to the Parisian cafe experience. Drink it like a local, enjoy your cup black or as a cafe au lait with a French pastry. So you could drink it black or you could drink it how the Parisians drink it as well. They drink it black or as a latte. Cafe au lait means just adding milk. Let's see what the website says. Paris Espresso, cereal and citrus, intensity level 6. Also the same price, 80 cents a capsule, making it $8 a sleeve. Light roasted Robusta's delicate bitterness gracing the softer, biscuity aromas. Fruity and complex. I feel like they don't have enough description like they do with Vertuo sometimes. Let's see what this one looks like. I think, yeah, it's just like that little box. It's cute. Black and white. It reminds me of a casino chip or something like that. So let's brew this and taste it on its own, and then you guys get the drill. I feel like, you know how when you go to smell perfumes, you use coffee beans to cleanse your nose palette, if that's even the word. I feel like I should cleanse my palette between tastings, but I'm no pro at this, so what do you even use? Because you can't use the coffee. Do you use like ice cream or something? I feel like I've seen people do that. I always wonder if like within these taste testings, I wonder if my tasting is obscured because of how much I'm tasting. I'm just rambling at this point. So that's the espresso. I'm just mixing it in with the with the crema. Ooh, even though this is a level 6, this one smells bitter. I don't smell the citrus. Oh, actually I do a little bit now that I have a second whiff at it. I'm kind of scared. Okay, here I go. Oh, it's not bad. It's not as bad as what I've tasted before, but it is definitely more bitter than Rio de Janeiro. Already, I prefer Rio de Janeiro more than Paris because of it. And it's weird. Just goes to show you that sometimes the intensity level, it could surprise you because this is a 6. You think, you know, since it's more of like a medium roast, but it tastes more bitter to me. Definitely not velvety smooth at all. And it might be that citrus note that I'm tasting that's just kind of throwing me off. Let's see what milk does to it. Hold on. I actually have no idea what I'm gonna... I hate that it doesn't focus. Like I was saying, I have no idea what I'm gonna pair this with as far as syrup, but we're just gonna taste it with the milk. It's good. And one thing I've noticed is that milk usually gets rid of that bitterness, gets rid of any like floral notes and citrusy notes, and it's just coffee and milk. That's what it tastes like. And that's how they recommend it. Cafe au lait, I think, is coffee with milk. Is it? Yeah, coffee with milk. I'm thinking maybe it's water, but water is it's good. It just tastes like coffee and milk. There's really no flavor anymore that's standing out. For example, with Rio de Janeiro, that was like very nutty that I tasted. Like the nuttiness really stood out even with milk, even without milk. But with this one, I feel like that bitterness is completely gone, 100% gone. And I'm left with just coffee, coffee tasting coffee. Nothing stands out. So, I mean, I don't hate it. At this point, I feel like you could almost pair it with whatever syrup. So let's just do my favorite French vanilla. This one's from Monin. Just a little bit. Oh my god, that syrup is so good. This is good coffee. It's not that bold, not anymore. Not how it was without milk. I feel though something, and maybe it's just because it's level 6. I feel like if I add ice, it might water it down, but let's try it with ice and see what it tastes like. Okay, here we go again. Oh, I just dropped one little nugget. A little mix. I think I prefer this one hot. There's just something about like a level 5, 6 that I feel like when you add ice, it just tastes a little weak. So hot is probably my favorite way. I always say things like that, and then later on I just end up using it ice regardless. But just kind of going from Rio de Janeiro to this one, Rio de Janeiro really tastes really good iced, and this one just feels a little weaker. So yeah, definitely hot. Try it ice if you like it or not. See that for yourself, but definitely hot. This one is also a winner with milk and with French vanilla syrup. Super good. Okay, so far so good. So now we're gonna try Istanbul. This is how the box looks like. Try it as ristretto or espresso. It's a level 8 in intensity, and it takes you back to the original coffee houses. Intense ambrosio brew bursts with boldness. I've never heard that term. Ambrosio brew. Bursts with boldness, wild ripe fruits, delicate almond touch. Oh, I love almond flavor in coffee. Thick and velvety in homage to Turkish coffee. Its Ethiopian Arabica and Indian Robusta reminds us of this city at the crossroads of ancient coffee trade roots. It's a blend as a cosmopolitan as the crowd gathered in an Istanbul coffee house. Enjoy it like a local, accompany it with a glass of water and a piece of Turkish delight. Accompany it with a glass of water. So like an Americano. That's how I understand it. Let's see what the website says. Istanbul Espresso, ripe fruits and nutty. Cosmopolitan blend of Robusta brings both wild fruit, spice notes, and a delicate hint of almond running through a velvety body. That's all it says on that. The box has way more info, but it doesn't say like how to drink it. It doesn't say anything, which is annoying. You're slacking. I feel like Nespresso is slacking. Accompany it with a glass of water. I'm just thinking an Americano, which I don't really like. So we're gonna just drink it how I like it. We're gonna drink it black. We're gonna drink it with milk. Same thing that we've been doing. So this is the box right here. Nice design. Okay, so this is what the espresso looks like. Smells like Paris. So yeah, it's a level intensity 8. It smells bitter. So I could definitely smell that fruitiness. And I think I tend to like link the fruitiness to bitterness. I don't know why, but I think that's what I'm smelling. Let's give it a mix. Oh my God, this one smells even more bitter than Paris. I don't know. It's not bitter actually now, you know, my expression, but there's a weird taste to it and I can't make out what it is. It's different. I feel like I've never tried anything like this one. This intense ambrosial brew bursts with boldness, wild ripe fruits, and a delicate almond touch. Can't make out anything of what it is. It's not bad though. Ripe fruits and almond is kind of like a rare pairing. And maybe that's what's throwing me off. It's not bad. I feel like Paris was more bitter. This one's almost like velvety, but I can't make out the flavor. I've never had anything like this. So let's see what it tastes like with milk. 1 second. If you guys are from Istanbul and you know more about the coffee in that area, educate me because I'm very intrigued. And this is still the same oat milk from Chobani, extra creamy oat milk. It's funny because now with milk, I could kind of taste the almond notes. This one has me confused because with the coffee being black, it's a very complex flavor. Like I've never tried or I've never tasted that flavor in coffee and I didn't hate it. I feel like even Paris was a little more bitter. The thing is that I was just like, I couldn't pinpoint what I was tasting. So that's the only thing. With milk, it tastes really, really good. I feel like you can put whatever flavor with this one. And I kind of want to try it with the toasted almond mocha. I think that's what it's called. So I'm going to give it a try. Let me get that syrup 1 second. Okay, so this is it right here. It's from Onin. It's toasted almond mocha. So it has a little bit of chocolate flavor, a little bit of almond flavor, which is why I figured let's just try it with this one. So I'm gonna put a little bit, about 2 seconds worth of a pour. Give it a little mix. So good. This one is so good with that syrup. Yum. So if you already have toasted almond mocha syrup and you drink your coffee with milk like I do, I think this is the perfect pairing, the perfect combo. I used about a half cup of milk, give or take. I feel like that's what I always do, regardless if it's like 1 espresso. Sometimes it's just like a little under a half cup, but it's generally around that area. Even with two shots of espresso, I always tend to do a half cup of milk. And then with the syrup, I honestly think, and with everything, I think that it's just your preference. I have gone through like trial and error with a lot of pods, with a lot of milk, syrups, and I feel like I'm down to a point where I like what I like. And that's a half cup of milk, 1 tablespoon of syrup, usually sometimes 2, but it's very rare. And it's just personal preference. And if you're trying what I'm doing and you don't like it, then tweak it to see if you can find some like happy medium with that combo. But just know that it's not cut and dry. It's always trial and error for each and every one of us. I think my favorite is Rio De Janeiro. Paris was really delicious with that French vanilla syrup. I think they're all pretty special in their own way. This one, the Istanbul, was also really delicious with the toasted almond mocha. I feel like all of them were kind of like winners. Oh, I didn't even try this one ice, but I don't feel like I have enough for ice. Let's just try a little bit. Okay. It reminds me of Paris iced. I think Paris and Istanbul I like better hot, and Rio de Janeiro tastes good hot and iced, like 100% love it both ways, but this one kind of tastes watered down with the ice. But like I said, that's the same thing that I said about Dolce, and then the other day, I think it was yesterday, I did a reel with it iced and it was good. So again, you just guys have to try it for yourselves. I give you guys a general idea of how it's gonna be. Sometimes you just gotta order it and see what you think personally. All of them are great hot, but Rio de Janeiro is my favorite iced. So yeah, hopefully this taste test helped you guys out. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I feel like sometimes I just ramble on and forget certain things. So if you guys do have other questions, let me know in the comments. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me there, because usually once I do a taste test, I tend to use these capsules in various different ways on my reels and show you guys how other ways you can use them. So I'm gonna leave my handle at the bottom. I'm getting out of breath. And yeah, I think that is it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.